putting work in, trying to get recognition. Hit the like button, it won't cost you nothing. What the hell is y'all waiting for? An engraved invitation? Click the damn like button.
So what you trying to say, Mr. Butler?
Whatever changes you have to make, and you just do it. You gotta think about your life. Being a black man in America isn't easy. The hunt is on. And you're the prey.
What's going on, everybody? Safar Sadek here. Yeah, boy, this is a blast from the past. I never forgot that scene. I never forgot that line. And it's more prevalent now than ever before, because in this, however you want to describe it, in this Mickey Mouse zoo that we live in today, that you people call the dating market, which is preposterous at best. Such thing as dating. What the hell, are we still in high school? But in this so-called dating market, you got all these idiot women talking about, that they are the prize simply because they have a vagina. And they are convinced that their vagina makes this world go around. Well, for Pookie and Ray Ray and your musty, dusty, rusty, crusty niggas, that's true. And it's only confined to that demographic of clowns. That's a true statement. But even among that demographic of idiots, I'm gonna tell y'all this again, and I have another work on BitChute that's far more extensive than this. I'm just relatively new over here, but I say this over there all the time. Hear me good. Anytime you flood a market with any commodity, it doesn't matter what it is, that commodity loses its value because there's too much of it. So just because you think your JJ is so valuable and so important, it's too much of it in this so-called market. So it's not as valuable as you think it is. And by default, that makes us the prize, us the prey, because you all are the ones going on these dating sites like Kendra G and these other sites looking for men more than men are looking for you all. It's more of you than there are us. So by default, we are the prize. We are the prey. Okay? I know you don't want to hear that, and I don't give a shit. That's reality 101. So no, you're not as valuable as you think you are, especially you done been done up, run up, spun up, and humped, pumped, and dumped. Garbage. No good. And you have all this psychological, emotional, and spiritual and mental issues that come along with that garbage. The market is full, is just saturated with that crap. So we are the prize. See, because you all done hit the wall, the majority of you. These young ones, they still out here doing the same dumb shit that you all claim you're tired of doing. They're out there in their prime doing it now. So, if anything, they are the valuable of the so-called dating market. They are the high value. Those of you that done went out here and did your shit, you're done. Ready for the grave. I mean, that's the reality of it. Unless by some divine intervention, some nigga, decide that you look good enough to scoop you up. Well, that's far and few, because like I said, it's not many of us that you claim you desire. And not only that, but the vast majority of you women, y'all are producing and reproducing these musty, dusty, crusty, rusty niggas. You are forever cursed to get run up, done up, humped and dumped and pumped by these clowns. That's all you're ever gonna get in life. You claim, oh, we're all the good men. Don't worry about that. You're surrounded by the only men that's accessible to you. That's it. That's all you're getting out of life. You keep reproducing these clowns, so that's what's available to you. It's a curse that will never be broken for you people. So I hope you're having all the fun you can in your prime, giving away the best that you have to offer in the so-called dating market to all these rusty, dusty, crusty, rusty Pookies and Ray Rays and these other jackasses. Hey, have at it. But when you start hitting the wall, and a lot of you have, guess what's available to you? Same thing you've been reproducing this whole time. Them rusty, dusty, crusty, rusty Pookies and Ray Rays. That's all you ever gonna get. So you might as well shut the fuck up. Look at this. Sit your ass down. Cut the bullshit. Stop crying, because that's all you're getting. You're not getting nothing else. We are the prize for the real women. Not you people. This is what's going on. Y'all gonna continue this so-called dating market today. Hopeless cycle of bullshit. This is the reality for eternity. Because you are in hell, and that's what hell is all about. Repetition. And you see the precept up there at the top. I'm gonna go into detail about that, because you got a lot of dumbass Israelite camps out there that teach that this is gonna be a good thing. You know, musty, dusty, rusty, crusty, thirsty ass niggas. You know, they've been teaching this false doctrine for damn near a decade, to my knowledge, since I've been in the truth. Yeah, it's a false doctrine. And I'm gonna go into it and show you why. But this is the reality right here. All right, let's cut this bullshit. Let's get into this thing, and I'm gonna take y'all to school and show y'all why the niggas that taught this doctrine right here have given you all a false hope, because this is actually dangerous right here. But this is what we find ourselves in society today, and it's only going to get much, much, much worse as the days go by. All right, let's start this out with the precept that was in the screenshot that I showed you, Isaiah 4:1. And I'm going to properly instruct you all based on where we are now and what we've seen and what we're going to see on an unprecedented level. I'm going to explain this in that context, so you don't, be out here running around with some preconceived notion that's not true and mess around and get your ass killed. All right, and in that day, talked about now, but it's going to get worse. 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. In other words, we're going to provide our own resources. Now, that's something you need to think about right there. And the reason why I say that is because if you go back up and you read Isaiah chapter 3, verses 16 through 26, you're going to find out that what's being talked about there, most of these women are going through that shit right now. And you're going to have to go back and read that yourself to understand what's going on. But in a nutshell, they're being stripped of all this crap that they have and this materialistic bullshit and all this. This society is taking a lot of that stuff away from their asses. And so now all of a sudden, they start, not all, and I'm going to explain this, but the majority of them are going to form hyena packs. And they're going to start hunting. They're going to start looking for that elusive man that they're always crying about. Because, they claim that they're sick of the rusty, dusty, musty, crusty niggas that they reproduced and brought into this world. And they claim they're tired of them. So they're gonna go on a hunt for a man that they know can, help them through these harsh times that we find ourselves in. Because they know them clowns that they used to messing around with, they know them niggas ain't shit. So they ain't lying when they make that assertion. They're not lying. But see, times have changed now. Now it's no more about pleasure and having fun and bullshitting and fucking around. Now it's about self-preservation and survival. And they know that these niggas that they bullshitting around with can't cut the mustard. They know that. They will reproduce for one reason and one reason only. And that's for, what they've been doing all this time. So they're going to go on the hunt for the men, that they talk shit about. I ain't going to never submit to a man and this and here, that and the other. Okay, well, they know in order to maintain self-preservation, they're going to have to do something. They'll try to get up under a nigga and at least pretend to submit. Anything to get through these hell times that we find ourselves in now. But when they come, they're going to be bringing resources with them. And that's what y'all should be thinking about. Wait a minute. Now, this society been stripping the hell out of y'all's asses. And this, here, that, and the other. Where the hell are these resources coming from? That should be the only thing you focus on when these hyena packs show up or happen to hunt your ass down. To hell with what they look like and this and that and the other, because they're going to make sure they try to present themselves the best way they can per Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 30. You go read that if you want to understand what I'm talking about. And that's how they're going to present themselves and everything. Hey, to hell with that. Where did y'all get these resources from? Y'all done got stripped, completely bare. How the hell y'all got resources all of a sudden? So the rest of this is a clue. The rest of this precept. Only let us be called by thy name. In other words, be under your protection. Protection from what? To take away our approach. Imminent danger. And that's Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1. So when they come running up on your ass with all these resources after having been stripped, okay, you brothers better listen to this shit, man. How the hell did they all of a sudden get all these resources and most of them, if not all of them, done been stripped of everything? Because here's the answer. You're not the only man that they've approached, okay? They've approached several, if not many men before they finally approached you. And they took that man's resources and probably cost him his life. Oh yeah, there's a lot of that shit going on right now. It's only gonna get worse. Y'all ain't heard the stories about these bitches getting these niggas caught up and set up and everything and getting them killed and this, that, and the other and, robbing them, all this shit, all these pookies and ray-rays that they reproduce running around rampant, terrorizing the damn citizens of this country. That's what this is all about, man. That's what this is all about. So now they done robbed the wrong pookies and ray-rays or whatever the case may be. And see, these niggas want their shit back. They want, and they out for blood too. They don't just want their shit back. They want to kill these bitches. And these hoes know it too. So now they're running scared, but they have all these resources that they done jacked from some idiot, some sucker for love or whatever the case may be. He want his shit back. Now they coming to you. Because when they roll up on you, trust and believe, these hoes know who we are. They know we can survive everything. Everything that this society has thrown at us, we are surviving this shit. And they know it. And it pisses them off. Because their pookies and ray-rays can't do that. The ones that they like to get humped, dumped, and pumped by, but they can't survive. Hard times. And that's what we are now. Hard times. And that shit pisses them off. So they're gonna be forced, for the sake of self-preservation, to seek us out. But when they come, they're gonna come after having hornswoggled a whole bunch of dudes. And a lot of these dudes, they're not gonna get killed. They may have set them up to get killed. They took out the pookies and ray-rays that they had hired to try to kill it. They done took them niggas out. Now they after these bitches' ass. They want blood. So that's why these hoes are gonna be hunting you down like never before. Cause they want you to protect them, to protect all that shit that they done stole from other dudes. Question is, are you gonna be stupid enough to fall for that? And all these niggas that talk this shit about, oh yeah, man, we're gonna be able to lay up and have at least 7 women, and you know, cause they thirsty and sexually depraved. And you know, so that's how they teach this. Oh, we finally gonna get what we've been deprived all this time, and this, that, and the other. You gonna get your ass killed. That's what's gonna end up happening. The wise among you will tell them hoes, hey, y'all get your ass on. I don't want you, none of that shit, get on. Go find some other sucker. I ain't interested. Get your ass out of here. That's what that's the right answer. That's what you better do for your own self-preservation. Damn that. All right, let's look at Leviticus 26:26. And when this is the Most High speaking, and when I have broken the staff of your bread, in other words, Isaiah 3:16 through 25, all these public assistants and shit, these white people get ready to snatch all that shit away because they can't afford it no more, and they know they can't. That's they're blaming that as part of the reason why this economy is crashing. Is all these useless eaters that they put on public assistance just to oppress us. The shit backfiring on their ass now. Now they on a whole nother system now. They're like, fuck this, we done with these niggas. Hey, cut all that shit off. They get ready to pull a plug on a power grid and everything. That's how they're gonna shut all this shit off. And when that happens, watch this. 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven. Do you see the ratios of women to men, to us men? I ain't talking about these pookies and ray rays. They don't matter no way. They never did. But I'm talking about us real brothers, those of us that are predestined to survive all this shit. Do you see the ratio of women to us? And these aren't good women either. They're not. They're just packs of hyenas running around trying to look for, you know, alpha male, so to speak, to try to preserve their livelihood and their lives, because all these beta males that they've been dealing with and reproducing and everything can't cut the mustard. You read Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25, you'll see that all these beta males are mutually gonna destroy each other. And that's a good thing, because they no longer serve any useful purpose. Not that they ever really did. But I mean, you know, but yeah, I want you to look at these ratios, and this ain't a good thing. Not for us, it ain't. It's only good for Pookie, Ray, musty, dusty, rusty, crusty niggas. And them the motherfuckers that teach that, you know, when all this shit go down, yeah, man, we're gonna have all these women up under us, and we're gonna be the king of the hill, and this and that and the other. Okay, let's see how that works out for you. And they shall deliver you your bread again by weight, and ye shall eat and not be satisfied. That's Leviticus chapter 26, verse 26. And it only makes sense when you read that. You got all these bitches claiming to be trying to take care of you and everything, but when it's time to eat, you ain't gonna get full. Why? Because you got to divide all that shit among them, including yourself. Now I want you to think about that for a moment. Let's say you went out there and hustled up about 7 or 8 canned goods and maybe a few other things that you could get. You had to damn put that work in. You had to shed some blood, fuck some motherfuckers up to get this stuff. Now all of a sudden 7 women show up that, you know, claim they got their own resources and everything. But guess what? The nature of a woman is not going to change just because the times change. They're going to be the same scheming, conniving, trifling creatures then, more so than they are now. So when they show up with their resources, the name of the game is, hey, let's preserve our shit and use up all of his shit. Why does that sound familiar? Because that's the game that's being played now. That's the game that's being played out. That's why you hear them talking about, yeah, I'm making this and I'm doing this and that and the other, but I want a man that's making 6 figures and blah, blah, blah. See, here, that's the game that's being played. They want to preserve their shit just in case that relationship don't work, which is not going to, because they're going to sabotage it on purpose at some point. So they'll still have something to fall back on after they actually do that shit. But they want you to have more so that not only do they break even with what they have, but then they have extra to fuck around and waste and all this other your shit. Y'all better wake up, man. This is the game that's being played on y'all's asses. And it's gonna only, hey look, when there's no law enforcement and none of that, because we're headed to that time. You're gonna have to be your own law enforcement. These bitches gonna roll up on your ass. They're gonna be looking for your protection and they're gonna be looking for your provisions, even though they got their own shit. That's how they're gonna outlive all these dudes, by doing shit. It's very parasitic, but I mean, you know, it's part of nature. And parasites generally outlive their host. So if you don't want to become another statistic, then you're gonna have to be like, hey, y'all get the fuck out, get your ass on, get on out of here. You ain't got shit I want, pussy or otherwise, I don't care. Get your ass on. And it's just that damn plain. You may, you know, be fortunate enough to find one or two women that are true pick-me's, you know, that are gonna do what the fuck you tell them to do. Then you get with them. Other than that, get y'all's ass out of here. All right, let's go and check something else out. Does anybody know what this animal is right here? It's a jackal. These are lone wolf hunters. And you got a class of women that refuse to join a pack of hyenas. They're gonna join the hunt. The hell, they're already hunting right now. And this is the greatest threat that we men face, are these right here, the jackals, because, you know, they're more cunning than a pack of hyenas can ever be. Even though the hyenas, you know, hunt in packs, and there's the old adage that there's strength in numbers, okay? We'll go along with that. But these motherfuckers right here are the ones you got to be more concerned about, because they are sneakier. And because they work alone, they can do a hell of a lot more damage than a pack of hyenas ever could. All right, let's go check this, the nature of this creature here out. Let's look at Ezekiel chapter 13, verse 18, and say, thus saith the Most High, woe to the women that sew pillows to all armholes and make kerchiefs upon the head of every stature. In other words, every age group. Now, these jackals, they are starting out at very young ages. I mean, in early teenage years, hunting for men. You know, their mothers ain't shit, neither are they. So, and these times are getting hard, and it's affecting women of all age groups, not just the older ones. Y'all need to get out of that frame of thinking. These younger ones, because they're the ones that's going to suffer the most when this shit really goes critical mass. This social media generation that have no idea what it's like being without electricity, and not because you can't pay it, or being without hot water, running water, hot and cold, how to be without refrigeration, how to be without this, that, and the other. They don't have a clue. So a lot of them are learning a lot of skills from these older hyenas and other jackals and everything, because they have entered the fray too. Because, you know, they're younger, so they're actually more desirable than these older bitches. And a lot of them have figured this out. Okay? So I know y'all might be thinking, oh man, hey, damn the bullshit. Okay, this is reality I'm exposing y'all to. Something ain't none of these other content creators gonna do, because they're more concerned about the bag and, you know, being the top dog on YouTube and other social media platforms and all that. And while I'm on this topic and on this particular subject, all you niggas on here, you YouTube content creators that like to boast and brag about what you could do and you the top dog and you better than this, that, and the other, these women are watching your ass. and you're the number one prey to these hyena packs and these jackals, boy, they got their sights set on your ass. And you think you safe just because you're a man. No, you ain't. You're outnumbered. And therein lies the problem. You're outnumbered by the most cunning hunters that nature have to offer. And when all hell finally does break loose and you're no longer, sitting on your throne behind your high dollar microphone and your studios and your nice grooves and sounds and all that, but when your ass is out here in these streets suffering and struggling like everybody else trying to get from day to day, yep, you're going to be exposed now. You're not going to be in the safety of your studio or your home or wherever it is you operate from. And these hyenas and these jackals going to be dead on your ass because they know who you are. They know who you are. So all you brag about all the subscribers you have and everything, these jackals and these hyenas are some of your subscribers too. And they ain't saying nothing. They just taking notes because they understand the simple proverb that was published in Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Know thy enemy and know thyself. They know who you are. So, hey, get the bag and everything, but you can dispense with the rhetoric because you've already done made yourself a target and a damn good one too. And the best of the best are gonna be dispatched to come after your ass. And when this hell break loose and everything, you better hope that you are able to withstand the attacks of these hyenas and these jackals. It ain't gonna be other men you got to worry about. It ain't gonna be white people out here going crazy and hunting niggas down. That ain't what you got to worry about. We ain't. That's the least of our worries. We ain't got to worry about none of that shit. It's these hyenas and these jackals that are hunting our asses down. That's our concern. Yeah, it's gonna be a struggle getting from day to day when the stores done been looted and burnt to the ground and all the restaurants and other places that have resources done been hit up and this here, that, and the other, and we're literally in the book of Eli. Yeah, it's gonna be jackals and hyenas that your ass got to be concerned about. All right. And say, thus saith the Most High, woe to the women that sew pillows to all armholes and make kerchiefs upon the head of every stature, age group, to hunt men's souls. Will ye hunt the men's souls of my people? You damn right they are. And will ye save the men's souls alive that come unto you? No. That's Ezekiel chapter 13, verse 18. Hell no, they ain't gonna save the souls alive. Because once they obtain what they want, that's it. You're done. You're no longer useful or valuable to them. They're just gonna move on to the next prey. So no, they're not gonna save your ass alive. So all of you out here with these pipe dreams about having a harem of all these women that are gonna be submissive to you, you're gonna die grievous, just horrible deaths. These bitches are not gonna ever submit to you, man. They're only gonna pretend to do whatever it is they know that you want long enough to get what they need out of you, and that's your ass. It's just that plain. Let's look at Proverbs 6:26. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread. When y'all gonna learn? When y'all gonna learn, man? And the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Talk about us. They ain't the prize, we are. We are the prize because we are their prey. That's who they're gonna be hunting. They're not gonna be hunting other women. That's gonna be far and few between. They're not gonna be hunting other women because other women are gonna be doing the same thing that they're doing, whether they're hyenas in a pack or jackals solitary. Either way, they're gonna be hunting for us, and that's just the bottom line. Look at this right here. Yep, you got a jackal at work right here. A lot of you dudes out here, y'all think just because you're a man that you are impervious to this shit? Yeah, okay. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Because see, you think just cause these women are weaker because of, them being women, that you have nothing to worry about. You have everything to worry about. Because a lot of these women are going to these gyms now and everything, and they're working out. And a lot of them are in a hell of a lot better shape than we are. Physically, they are. They can withstand a lot more, physical exertion than a lot of us are, because a lot of us ain't in the same shape that we were in when we were younger. Okay? And so this shit right here gonna start happening. Now, we still talking about the jackal, because this is the more dangerous of the hunters out here. A lot of these women are so desperate right now, and this is what they're gonna be doing right here. They're gonna creep up. You're gonna, be out somewhere trying to get your survival on and everything, and they're gonna come to you, initially. Oh, can you help me? I'm helpless, and this, that, the other. Your ass done been out wandering around maybe a day or two, or hell, even longer. And we have needs and everything. And she gonna come up on your ass like the damsel in distress. They gonna play that role. They gonna play it. God knows they gonna play it. Will you be able to withstand the damsel in distress? Because it's going to go down one or two ways. If you resist her, this is what she's going to do. If you resist her, this is what they're going to do. You're going to piss them off, and they'll be like, oh no, motherfucker, you ain't going to just, leave me out here to struggle and suffer by myself. Hell no. I done been searching and searching and searching, and I done finally found a man. Now, you're going to do what the fuck I want to do, what I want you to do. Are y'all ready to deal with this shit? I'm telling you. I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm doing what other content creators don't have the authority to do. That's why they don't do shit like this. They don't have the authority to do it, okay? And I'm not saying that boasting or whatever. I'm just telling you this because this is some shit y'all's asses better get ready for, because this is what's coming. So either to go that way, or either you'll, fall for the shit because you're lonely and you want your needs met and this, that, and the other. And, she might break you off. She's going to check the resources out and see how all that's working out. And she might break you off here, there a little bit and everything, just to get you to lower your guard. And then when she feel like the time is right, she going to strike. Just like what you see right here. She gonna strike. She might strike in other places you don't want struck too. Because a lot of these bitches are sadistic as hell, man. They ain't nothing but chameleons. Feminist in disguise of a damsel in distress. They're gonna start and some of them are so extreme, so masculine in nature, they're gonna start grabbing y'all's asses up off the streets and shit. I'm talking about now, even before this shit get Booker Eli. They gonna start grabbing y'all's asses up because they gonna size you up. They gonna be like, you know what? I think I could take this dude. Just like in that movie Misery that came out in the early 90s. They gonna start abducting y'all's asses, grabbing your ass up off the streets, in these subways, public transit. Y'all going in these bars and bullshit. They gonna start dragging your asses out of there. They're going to be getting you in grocery stores, libraries, churches. Hey, wherever they can find you, they're going to get you. They're going to get you. They in these gyms right now. They working hard, too. They doing more than any man in there is doing. Men are in there bullshitting, looking around. No, they in there getting their strength up so they can start getting your ass. Let's look at this next screenshot. This one is more scarier than this here. And I've experienced this. Look at this right here. This shit here ain't no goddamn joke. I done experienced this shit. When I first came back here to Phoenix, Arizona back in February, the medical condition that I had a relapse. And I was like, okay, I can get housing and get off these streets if I go to the hospital, and then they'll have to transfer me from there after I get out of the hospital as part of, my treatment for healing. And it worked. But I was in the hospital, the VA hospital here, for a week. And while I was in there, I could not believe the number of thirsty ass nurses in these hospitals, not just the VA, civilian hospitals too. Now let me explain something, y'all, while I'm on this. You see, in the group dynamics of hospitals, the doctors have top pick of all those females that work in that environment. The doctors do. Your cardiologists, your, whatever their specialty is, they have top pick. Okay, but there's more women in this environment, damn near 100 to 1, than there are men, because hospitals were traditionally staffed by women, because back in the day, women were a hell of a lot more nurturing than they are now. You still got a few of them out there, but it's far and few. You got mostly feminists and chameleons in these hospitals, and jackals and hyena packs. I'm telling you what I know. And so, the doctor, he's going to get top pick. Everybody else has to, struggle for whatever's left. You got your homos, dudes that work in there. They're not on the market. So guess what these women have to resort to? Male patients. I know a lot of y'all probably like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm telling you what I know from experience. I got in there the second night. Now, I had a multinational team of nurses, just like I did when I was in the VA hospital in Dallas, Texas. There was this one, she was like in her early 60s. And I thought she was from East India, one of them East Indian chicks, because she looked just like one of them and talked like one of them with a slight British accent. Come to find out, said she was from South Africa. And she came in my room, she put on this air of being this elderly, motherly, caring type of nurse. But it was something off about this chick, man, I'm telling you. Because, see, I was in the room by myself in recovery, and it was a room next to me, and we shared a bathroom between the two rooms. So at nighttime, I noticed she would sneak into the room because she thought I was asleep. And I had my privacy curtain pulled because, I got all these women coming in and out of my room and everything. I'm not just some, just some weirdo or pervert or nothing like that. I maintain a high level of dignity about myself. I don't want to be exposed in front of these women because I know how they are. And she started sneaking in that room at all odd hours of the night, and she would slowly pull that curtain back, and I would pretend to be asleep. And I noticed she would come over there and start touching on me and everything, pretending to be adjusting the heart monitor, the wireless heart monitor that I have on, that they had attached to me. And I wake up and she'd tell me, the reason why I came in here, because your heart monitor, we can monitor it from out in the hallway and everything. And your heart started, whatever she said, fibrillating, whatever the fuck, because I have congestive heart failure. And I was like, well, how is that possible when, I'm sound asleep? Don't you think that I would have noticed that if my heart was doing something? And so she kept coming in there. And I'm like, so the next day, the doctor came in there to check up on me and everything. And I told him, I said, hey, man, I don't trust this nurse that's coming in here and everything, because she's coming in here and waking me up talking about, my heart's doing this and that and the other. But I can't tell. So, and she's sneaking in here, coming in through the bathroom instead of coming in through the main door. I got a problem with that. And he told me that they have been having problems, male patients, because that's mostly what's in the VA hospital. There's not very many female veterans that are ever in a hospital unless they're working there. As far as patients, nah, that's rare. So, they have the pick of the crop from among the patients. And he told me that they had been getting complaints about this particular nurse. I was like, look, man, I don't trust this woman because I don't know what her intentions are, this, that, and the other. So a black nurse, two of them, were also coming in during the daytime. And one of the older of the two told me the same thing. I'm like, look, man, fuck that. Y'all gonna have to assign somebody. I don't want her in here. So, and they finally took care of that. So the younger of the two black nurses was coming in there and she started asking me questions about, she told me, she just looked at me with this certain look on her face and said, black men here in Phoenix, Arizona don't mess with black women. And I'm just looking at her like, where the fuck is that coming from? Hell, I'm in here trying to recover, trying to find somewhere to stay to get off the goddamn streets. I don't give a shit about your dating issues. So she started opening up to me and telling me about her moving some dude from Indiana now all the way over here, bringing him over here. She bought him a ticket on the Greyhound to bring his ass over to Phoenix, Arizona. That's just how thirsty she was. Now, she had dealt with him before and, you know, blah, blah, this and that, the other. And he told her, yeah, I want to get my life together and I want to start going to church and all this shit. I'm just listening to this shit. I'm like, oh, my God. Is it possible? Is this real for these nurses to be this goddamn thirsty? Yes, it's very possible. It's a reality that most of you all don't know about. So she telling me all this shit and everything, and you know, I'm listening to it now. She's like in her mid-30s. I'm fucking 51 years old. Damn near old enough to be her father. And so the next morning, I told him, I said, look, now I done been in here, and I done been out on the streets, ain't washed my ass and nothing. I said, I want to take a shower. Oh man, she volunteered, okay. And so she went and got all the shit, and I was in there taking a shower. I thought she had left, She stayed in there the whole time while I was taking a shower. I step out of the shower and reach for the towel to dry myself up. She gonna snatch the goddamn towel and started drying my chest off like I'm her man. And I'm just standing there looking at this, and I'm naked. I'm looking at this shit like, what the fuck? This, oh my God, you got to be serious. Really? And then there was another instance, another nurse they sent in there from Trinidad and Tobago. I thought she was from Jamaica, an older black chick. She was in her early 40s, and she said something to me, and I said, look, this country is suffering now from a lot of shortages. You know, food going up, and there's a shortage of staff and this, and she yelled out, and men. I'm like, I was like, am I in the fucking Twilight Zone? It's like all these nurses was coming in there like they were all competing each other for my attention or whatever. Man, I am a 51-year-old man. God damn, every one of these nurses was at least 10 years younger than me. I couldn't damn believe this shit. But trust me, guys, this is a reality that y'all better start thinking about. Because God forbid, should something happen to you and you end up in one of these hospitals and you have to stay there for an extended period of time, these jackals are in there hunting in there because they look at it like this. Okay, now I finally have a man who I'm interested in my care. I want you to think about that for a moment. This woman is caring for you. These nurses pretty much run these hospitals. The doctors do the surgery and this and that and the other and everything. But other than that, they just getting paid a lot of money just to be around there. The nurses run these hospitals. They're the ones that, you know, that can pronounce your ass dead after they did something to you. Or whatever the case may be. You got some damn psychopaths for nurses these days in these hospitals. Yes, you do. And a lot of these fucking nurses are feminists, and a lot of these damn nurses in there are hooked on a lot of goddamn drugs that they could get from the pharmacy. Ask me how I know. Because I'm married to a nurse. We've been separated for 10 years, and she's somewhere down here in the greater Phoenix area. She don't know I'm here though. But she was a psych nurse at a women's prison back in North Carolina, where I'm from, well, you know, when we were living together when we were married. And come to find out, she was coming home and was having conversations outside the door before coming in the house about, you know, well, I gave her her meds and this, that, and come to find out she was taking a lot of these women's medications, antidepressants and shit like that. Go on YouTube and put in there nurses addicted to antidepressants and see how many videos pop up. A lot of these nurses are doped up, man. I'm trying to tell you. They own these antidepressants. Why? Men. See, they sacrificed their bodies in their youth when they were in college, so-called experimenting and this, that, and the other, being hoes. and all that. So now they done hit their 30s, which is the date for hitting the wall, so to speak. And now they're really having trouble finding men because a lot of them done picked up a lot of weight, working all these long hours and everything. They career driven and this and that and the other. So outside work, the only thing they got time to do is damn sleep and eat. That's it. A lot of them live in these nice condos and houses. They ain't even got time to keep that shit clean. They're on that job all the time, competing with each other, trying to be the top nurse and all this and all that. They don't have hardly time to go to these bars and clubs and all this other shit. They just too goddamn tired to do it. So guess what? Guess when the only time they have to even interact with men, and I ain't talking about the ones they work with because other women have already done been picked out of the litter. It's the patients. It's the patients. When you come in there, they size your ass up. When they see you being rolled down the hallway to be placed in your room, you'll ride by these nurses stations where they're all gathered around like cackling hens, and they're all looking at you, sizing you up. And if one see you interesting, she gonna assign herself as your nurse. I'm telling y'all what I know from experience, because I experienced this both in Dallas, Texas, and here in Phoenix, Arizona. These jackals are hunting, man. They are hunting. This ain't something that's getting ready to start happening. Bro, these bitches done honed their skills down to a science. It's you men that are at a huge disadvantage because you don't know this shit's going on, because these content creators aren't telling you this shit. They're doing you a great disservice as a result of not telling y'all about this shit. Okay? All right, let's hit the next slide and then we're going to bring this to a close. All right, check this out right here. These two precepts are coming out of what's known as the Apocrypha. And I tell y'all all the time, this was part of the original 1611 King James Bible. If you want to know the validity of it, then go do your own research. That's not the purpose for this video. But let's look at Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 29, verse 21. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and an house to cover shame. That's Ecclesiasticus chapter 29, verse 21. So all this other stuff that these women are out here seeking, this materialistic bullshit and all this other stuff, is totally and completely irrelevant. But they're out here pursuing it. It goes from your doctors and nurses and lawyers and engineers, women in all these fields, all the way down to the ghetto hood rat chicken head. All of them are out here competing for how much shit that they can get. And they don't want to necessarily get it from the government or from, their own labor. They want to get it from some dude. That's how they get the scrape notches in their bedpost. They want to be able to get it from dudes. It's like bragging rights and this and that and the other. But notice the last one says a house to cover shame. Well, for the most part, most women nowadays are shameless. They don't care about, conducting themselves in a modest manner. They are shameless. All you gotta do is go on TikTok and YouTube, Worldstar, Hip Hop, or hell, just open your eyes where you are and you'll see that. Walking around dressing and looking like any damn thing. And, now they got this shit they call vabbing, V-A-B-B-I-N-G. When I first saw that, I thought it was a misspelling of the word vapping or vape, whatever. And what these hoes are doing, they're sticking their fingers in their vagina and rubbing that shit on them as though they were putting on perfume as a tactic to attract men. And the only men that they're attracting are the rusty, dusty, musty, crusty clowns that they reproduce. A real man that smell that shit be like, oh, hell no. But that's just how the level of desperation that a lot of these women are experiencing right now. And if you take the word desperation and write it out and descramble the words, you'll get the word predator or predators, even though there's only one R in desperation. But if you split it and make two R's, you'll get predator. That's what these women are. Desperation equals predators. And these women are always talking about men being predatory. No, they're more predatory than men ever were. But the only reason why nobody can see that because they can't see a woman being a predator. They're too focused on men being predators. And I'm not taking nothing away from that fact. Yeah, a lot of men are predatory, but these women are worse than men are. Why? Especially the jackals, because they can hide under the guise that women are helpless and, you know, defenseless and this and that and the other. Yep. And a lot of carnage has been created as a result of that. And motherfuckers thought it was a man. No, it was a woman. See, you underestimate your enemy, and because of your underestimation of your enemy will triumph over you. So there's only 4 things in life that really matter: food, water, clothes, and a house or an apartment or whatever to cover shame. Well, let's check this next precept out right here. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verses 72 through 73. For they, dusty, musty, crusty, dusty, whatever, shall waste and take away their goods. That's what these sorry ass dudes are doing to these women. You know, because they, for the most part, either the government is paying for them for somewhere to stay, or they're working a career where they can afford it themselves. But what are they using these houses for? To cover shame? No. Nope. 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 They're using them as brothels. What is a brothel? That's where prostitutes work out of. That's what these women are using their homes as, whether it's financed by the government or their own labor. Their homes are brothels. And the Most High is sick of it. He's tired of it. So he's allowing these same dusty, musty, crusty, rusty motherfuckers to damn just consume all their resources. Per Isaiah chapter 3, verses 16 through 25, excuse me. He's using these clowns to do that. And they doing it too. And these women are on Kendra G and on other social media platforms crying, men ain't shit. And then they'll turn around and go right back, run to another one, or the same one they was on there crying about. Because I told one of the guys in my inner circle yesterday, if you can step into the body of a female and experience what the majority of them experience, you would slit your wrist. The level of chaos that most of them experience is supernatural. Extremely chaotic, and they love it. They love it. That's just how screwed up they are. But yeah, they're going to take away their goods. Now watch this. Now this is what the real estate industry is doing to a lot of them now, and has done to them, and will continue to do, and cast them out of their houses, whether they can pay for it or not, whether the government is paying a foot in the bill or not. More and more of these bitches are getting their asses evicted. It's unprecedented. It's never been like this before. They throwing their asses out on the streets, them and their kids, and you're not getting no 30-day notice. Get your ass out. They putting their asses out. You come here to Phoenix and go over to downtown, over there off of Jefferson and Madison, from between 10th and 14th Avenue, bro, I'm trying to tell you. Go on YouTube and put homelessness in Phoenix and you'll see what I'm talking about. I remember when I came here last September, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't that bad. Man, I came back here in February, oh my God. And the state capitol is just blocks away from that shit. And there's more women out there now than there are men. And I know it's like that where you are, wherever you are listening to this video, it's like that where you are too. And guess what? Women are comfort creatures. If you want to really get under a woman's skin, change her comfort level from where it is now to something less than what it is. And you're going to see the demons come out. These bitches get their asses kicked out on the streets. You see the worst in them come out. I'm trying to tell you, I've been homeless for almost 2 years until I got this apartment. I know what the hell I'm talking about. All right. And they putting their asses out and they doing it more and more. You got a lot of them riding around living out of their cars and shit. But the only problem with that is they don't take care of the maintenance of these vehicles that they're living out of. And a lot of them are driving somewhere way out in the middle of nowhere, somewhere they ain't got no business being at, and that's where their fucking car break down. Now they're in trouble then. Because you way out probably 15, 20 miles from the nearest town or city where your shit broke down and everything you own is in there. And the only way you're going to get out of there is to hike that damn distance with whatever little bit you can carry on your back, or you can sit there and wait for some weirdo or some predator to come by and pick your ass up, and you know what's going to happen with that. Because you no longer have the safety of being in a home or an apartment. That's what a home and an apartment signifies, especially for a woman, safety. Now your ass is out here in these streets. You don't even have the same rights as a woman that is considered a productive member of society. Something happened to you out on these streets and you call 911, they don't give a shit. If they show up, they don't care. They don't care about the homeless in this country. They don't give a shit. It's averaging 110, 115 degrees during the daytime over here, and at nighttime it's averaging 100 degrees. I want y'all to think about that. At night. And these people out here on these streets ain't got access to water and this and that and the other. Man, it's hell. And more and more and more. These are judgments from the Most High to you haughty women. He's allowing this stuff to happen to y'all. But what these women are doing is everything that I've just discussed with you. And it's only going to they're going to become more and more violent. They're going to become more and more deceitful and more predatory in what they're doing just for their own survival. You're going to have women out here that are going to become serial killers against men because they feel like, hell, I done lost everything. And guess who a lot of them going to blame for a lot of this shit they're going through? You content creators on here that are talking shit about them. You top tier ones. They know who the fuck y'all are. They know who you are. They got your picture and everything. I'm telling you, man, when a bitch got it in for you, she got it in for you. And they gonna be hunting y'all's asses down, because soon when they pull the plug on this shit, everybody gonna be out in the street struggling, trying to survive. They gonna be out there hunting your ass down. So, FYI. Verse 73, then shall they, the true pick-me's among these women, be known, who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. That's 2 Ezra chapter 16, verses 72 through 73. So when they asses get the boot and kicked out of these they go for these bitches that work too, even a lot of these nurses and stuff. What y'all think happened when they overturned Roe versus Wade? A lot of these nurses that were working in these abortion clinics, if they couldn't find other jobs, their asses on the streets now. And it ain't even a matter of not being able to afford to pay the rent, specifically for you dumbass nigga bitches. Because these white people are sick of y'all's asses moving into the suburbs with your Section 8 vouchers. They're not even hardly accepting that shit no more, because they know how y'all all do the same dumb shit. You move into these places, it was quiet in there before you got there. Nobody had a problem. Next thing you know, you start seeing musty, dusty, rusty, crusty niggas coming up in there and drinking and smoking. And these niggas ain't nothing but hoes themselves, highly emotional. Now you got all this shooting and arguing and vandalism and tearing shit up, and your kids tearing up shit and loud and unruly. They putting y'all's asses on the streets. They don't care. You go to a lot of cities or go look on the news in a lot of these cities on YouTube and seeing these people talking about they on a waiting list for housing. These days, if you get your ass kicked out, you're not getting no more house or apartment. You out on the streets for good. So you got one of several options. Either you get your shit together and find some man that'll take you in before you get hooked on drugs, or you're going to go to the Salvation Army or one of these other shelters and live like a prisoner, or you're just going to be out there on them streets having to deal with that shit and join the other jackals and hyenas, or suicide. Those are your options. So y'all better get y'all shit together. And you men, y'all better open your fucking eyes and start looking around, man, because they looking for you. They talking shit, but they looking for you. Because I'm telling you right now, real men that have genuine masculine energy, within that masculine energy is the natural ability to survive hardship. I know what I'm talking about from experience, okay? So, and that's what these women are starting to look for now, because we're not in happy times anymore. The world before 2019 is over with. Get that in your goddamn heads. That world is gone forever. Will never be experienced again. It's over with. Fun is over. Now, it's time to get busy now. And see, these bitches know that. They see the writing on the wall. They can play dumb all they want to. They ain't that goddamn dumb. They know that their damn free lunch and all this other shit's over with. So now they looking for, you know, somebody to help them. They done taunted that strong and independent rhetoric all this time. As long as the government was taking care of them, or as long as they was able to get out here and work in these in the workforce, wherever it was they were doing. Well, when they asses get that shit stripped away from them, I told y'all, and I got a video called Factory Default. They go back to those original settings that they had before, and then now they realize, hey, it's survival of the fittest now. All right, I'm done with this shit. Peace.